What's up, y'all boys? Welcome back to Beyond Bounce. This is going to be episode 4 of our podcast. My name is Juan Pescador, your host, 5'7", 20-year-old dunker from Florida. We got a special guest today. I'm going to pass it on to my co-host here, and then we'll pass it on to our guests, and then we'll continue with the podcast.
My name is Darshil Sheth. I am a 21-year-old dunker from California. I'm 5'6", barely in shoes, and I'll pass it over to Jayden.
I'm Jayden. I'm 5'6", and I am striving to become one of the greatest dunkers in the world one day. So I'm going to pass it on to our host, or I guess our guest, Dacey.
All right, what's up? My name is Dacey. I'm 19 years old, 5'8", and I'm from New Jersey.
New Jersey. I might go there someday. We definitely should have a session, but
Sure.
I was going to say, yeah, you're 19, bro.
Yeah.
When you turn 20?
November.
November?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you're the second youngest because yeah, Jayden's the youngest. That's actually kind of crazy. Yeah. So we'll just start off. Tell us about basically your athletic background before you got into dunking.
All right, so I think the first sport I ever played I think it was basketball. I think I played soccer. I think I started soccer at like the same time. Um, then other sports I played baseball up until like third grade, and then I started lacrosse in fourth grade, and then I played soccer till like sixth grade, and then I played basketball all the way through high school. So yeah,
Okay. Wait, how old were you when you first started playing sports?
I think like I started rec basketball when I was like first grade, so was that like 6 or 7?
Okay. How
Something
did
like
that how did the how did that transition into dunking? Where did you like first hear about it and get into it?
Well, I think like the earliest thing I can remember like where dunking like sparked my interest. I was like, I think I was 9 years old. I just got my first iPod, um, and there was this movie on like the iTunes store. It was like an hour long video. It was like something about like the NBA dunk contest history. It was just like an hour long, just like straight highlights, just like the greatest memories from the dunk contest. So I think that like kind of showed me what dunking is, and it kind of um, just showed me like just opened me to the world of dunking. And then
Yeah.
like
What was it? Do you remember what it was called? Because that actually sounds like something I want to watch.
I literally wrote like a paper on it like this semester. It was like my whole dunking journey. I had to write a paper about like my literacy in dunking, but I,
Okay.
I think I put the title in there, but I don't
Mm,
remember it off the top of my head. But
okay.
yeah.
Now let's make
So
assignments
yeah,
on
what
dunking.
did the start of your dunk training look like?
Okay, so I think the first time I ever like started dunking, I had a mini hoop in my bedroom, and that's when I started like actually dunking for the first time. I would watch like
Hmm.
Russell Westbrook highlights, and I would like emulate his dunks and stuff. Um,
How old
and
were you
then
at this time?
I was probably around like 10 at that time.
Okay.
Um, then I think I was in third grade. That's when I got my basketball hoop that I still have to this day.
Hmm.
Um, and I actually lived across from a park that had like a 7.5 foot hoop. And I remember like my earliest memory was I was with like two of my friends after we were like hanging out in town or whatever, and we went to the basketball courts. And my earliest memory on that hoop was like throwing down dunks with them, and then I hit like a off the backboard dunk, and that was like kind of like that was definitely an eye-opening experience. I was like, never thought I could do something like that. I was only
Yeah.
like probably 11 at that time, but yeah. that was like that was where I started to get like addicted to actually dunking, because I remember I would go like with my mom and my brothers, and while everybody else was playing like on the 10-foot rims, I would just be over there just like playing around on that, dunking, doing whatever. So yeah, that was probably like my first experience like actually low rimming and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then I think it was seventh grade when I hit like the backboard for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That was like probably I don't know what year that was. That was like 2019, I think. 18,
Mm-hmm.
19. And then I think a couple practices like after that, I hit this like metal part like behind the backboard. It was like a little higher than like the bottom of the backboard, and I hit that. And yeah, I was just doing that like in between drills and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when like max effort jumping kind of started to kind of take its place into my life.
Yeah, and you would have been like 13, 14 at the time?
Yeah, I was 13 then.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was like that was the same thing for me too. It's like when I started jumping, I was obviously a short kid, so and I imagine you were too. So
Yeah.
I'd be able to grab like halfway through the net. I was like, "Yo, I got bounce," and then I'd just
Yeah.
keep trying until one day I literally touched the rim, and I was like I was excited, bro. I was like, "There's no way!" I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Touching rim for the first time was probably like 3 years after that. Um,
Yeah.
but that summer going into eighth grade, um, I started doing like kind of like trick layups. So I wasn't even like
Hmm.
low rim dunking a lot
Yeah.
um, throughout my childhood. Like I definitely should have low rimmed like more. But I was getting like inspiration from like T Jazz.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
bro, I would do like all like the craziest layups I could try. I was posting them on my like main Instagram. Um, yeah, I would just like make like little mixes of me just doing crazy layups in my backyard. So I think like that was kind of where I got most of my coordination, because I would
Hmm.
do like the wind dunk or the layup
Yeah.
um, between the legs, all kind of that stuff.
Yeah, it's all starting to make sense now. Because then when I see you on Instagram, you're doing like that off the wall you did on like you. That was pretty sure that was your best session. That was like
Yeah,
the cleanest off the wall. Like that shit was
yeah, for
nice.
sure. That was like a baby windmill. I feel like I wouldn't count
Yeah,
that as a windmill though.
yeah, for sure. But yeah. So yeah, tell us how like that transition into you like low rim dunking a bunch on like on your hoop that you have outside.
Yeah, so I actually got like introduced to the pro dunking world. It was like eighth grade. That was when COVID happened too. So yeah, the
Oh yeah.
start of eighth grade is where I found well, before then I knew who like Jordan Kilgannon was and stuff, because I'd seen the Dunk King before,
Mm-hmm.
and they had that on like NBA TV and stuff, so I would watch that sometimes. But yeah, eighth grade is when I found Isaiah for the first time, and during COVID is when I started doing like his at home workouts, because I was like, I have nothing else better to do.
Yeah,
Might as
exactly.
well try and increase my vertical. Um, yeah, so I think like later during COVID, um, it was like May. That's when like we all started, like all my friends, we started going down to the basketball courts and stuff. Um, I was playing basketball that whole summer. It was like 1 o'clock to lights out, like 10 o'clock. So we were there for like 9 hours a day. We would play on the 10-foot rims, and then we would take breaks and go to the mini hoops and stuff. We would just mess around on there. That's when I started like low rimming, because I started doing East Bays, windmills off like 1 foot and stuff. I was a 1 foot jumper originally, but then I
Mm-hmm.
transitioned to 2 foot. But yeah, I was doing like East Bays, windmills, little cradles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when I started like getting into low rimming for sure.
Yeah, it started. It's yeah, all that's starting to make sense because yeah, you definitely had some pretty good like athletic development growing up. So yeah, it makes sense why you were like you're able to do the stuff that you could do. But
I
and
guess
uh,
I actually had a question.
Yeah.
yeah,
What made you decide to like switch from 1 foot to 2 foot? Because I'm in the opposite scenario where I'm almost thinking of going to 1 foot for a little bit.
Yeah. Honestly, when I first started THP, in 2022, they make you fill out this survey beforehand. It's like, are you a 1 foot jumper or a 2 foot jumper? And I honestly did not know which one to put down. I think I put like 2 foot jumper down, but I was still like jumping off 1 foot a little bit. I was kind of like a hybrid athlete or a hybrid jumper. Um, I would jump higher off 1 foot, but 2 foot felt like, I don't know, felt more comfortable, and it was just more fun to do. I could hit like different dunks. I think I could hit more dunks off 1 foot at that time, but I just liked the style of 2 foot better. So um, I think the first time I hit or touched rim, it was off 1 foot, and then I touched rim off 2 foot. I think like shortly after that, like a couple minutes later. But I was a 2 foot jumper probably up until
we lost Jayden. We'll get him back soon. Go ahead.
um, I think I was a 2 foot or a 1 foot jumper and a 2 foot jumper up until like, I would say probably like my senior year. I wasn't as good like lobbing the ball off 1 foot. Like I couldn't. I think I never really figured that out, and I figured lobbing the ball off 2 foot 2 feet better. Um, that just felt more natural. So that's when I kind of stuck with 2 foot. So that was like senior year, I think.
So we know you hopped on THP. That's when you got your like first dunk, right? How long was it after that you joined THP and got your first dunk?
Well, so I joined THP my sophomore year, 2022, in March, and I was on the training up until November of 2023, which was before, like, yeah, it was before my senior year basketball season started. So I was training from sophomore year after basketball season up until um, senior year before basketball season started. And then I hopped off during senior year season. Um, Looking back, I probably could have trained through the season because I wasn't playing that much. Um, yeah, junior year, I trained as much as I possibly could, like during the season, but I was low key like beating myself up. So um, I was playing less senior year, so I definitely could have. But anyway, yeah, I hopped off all senior year or senior year season, and then got back on March 2024, and then I was low key rusty with dunking because I wasn't like jumping a lot. Like I wasn't dunking too much during my
Hmm.
senior year of basketball season. There's like a couple times after practice where me and like two or three other guys would like um, jump on like the 9.5 rim. Um, I got a clean dunk on there like maybe 5 times. Um, but yeah, once March came around, I felt so rusty. My first session was like 8.5, and I just felt like so out of it. Like I don't know what it was. Oh yeah, back to 1 foot. Like all every time I would try to dunk in layup lines, it would be off 1 foot, just because 2 foot. Like I don't want to be a bench warmer, trying to lob the ball and go for a dunk in warm ups. Look mad goofy. But yeah, like all my dunk attempts were like high looking layups. I never
Hmm.
got too
Okay.
close. But
You feel that dunking's easier with 1 foot or 2 feet?
You talking about like me, like right now?
Just in general, like at your best.
That's hard to say because obviously I'm gonna say 2 feet, 2 feet because that's just what I am. Um, I feel like you could get more strength, or more power off 2 feet. Like if you're not a basketball player, I think 2 feet is the way to go. But if you've been playing basketball for like a long time, I think 1 foot might you might have a chance at jumping decent off 1 foot. Yeah, from like layups and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say
So
two
you
feet to
saying
be
it's
honest,
like
I
especially like
feel
on
two
like
soft.
feet is better for like dunking, but if it's like in game, like for
We lost him.
basketball, 1 foot
Jayden, you're gonna
jumper
have
would
I
to.
be like
guess I guess while Jaden's recovering, what I was gonna
can you
ask
hear what I
was
said?
that or
No.
no.
Can can you hear me
we
now?
can. We can. I think. Okay, we can hear you now. Ask your question
Alright,
again, real
so
quick.
I said that like is it easier to like would you say it's more versatile to be like a 1 foot jumper if you're playing like let's say you're a basketball player, but if you're like a dunker, it's more versatile to become a 2 foot jumper.
I think in basketball, I think it's more useful to be a 1 foot jumper. Um, that's in like a full court setting though. Like
Yeah.
I feel like if you're a 2 foot dunker, you're gonna get more dunks like in a half court setting. Um,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Because you don't have like your approach
like you
is
can
like
still like dunk like on fast breaks and stuff like off 2 feet, but that takes more of like with 1 foot, it's more like speed and stuff. So like if you're on a fast break, it's gonna be easier to get a dunk. But like if you're a 2 foot jumper and you have a fast break, it's like for me at least, I'm gonna have to like kind of get my
I
steps ready
mean, sometimes you could
more like
go
technique.
fast and then take a big like you take like a really fast big penultimate and just like spring up there. Or you could do like a self bounce, catch it and dunk it, you know?
Yeah, that's
Too.
true. That's what I've been thinking. Like if I
That's
were to
so
get my first like
versatile, bro. The fucking
yeah,
the self bounce. Oh, sorry. Excuse my
yeah,
language.
if I were to get like my first like in game dunk, I feel like it would be a self bounce instead of a off the dribble because I look suck off dribble. I've only dunked
I
like
feel
it
like
one time off the dribble.
that's how I get like I feel like I've seen you get like a couple of times, like well, like on 9 for 10, 9 for 11. But do you even count those? Like, I feel like you should, but never know.
On one on like 9, 10, 9, 11, I've only dunked off dribble one time.
Really? Oh, I thought I seen
Yeah.
it in a
I don't know
video.
what it is.
I mean, I feel like every time I get a new rim height, my first dunk is off the bounce, and then it just goes in and out, or like it'll go in, like every time I hit like a new dunk or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, when I lob the
Like,
ball it's like low too. Like I
like
catch
my
it like
first. Oh, really? You catch it low? For
yeah.
me, it's kind of like I bounce it really high, I catch it, and I just kind of just like put it in, you know?
Yeah, I
Now
feel
I'm
like
trying
I
to
should
kind of catch it with 2 hands and then yam it with one.
yeah, I feel like I should
More
like
power.
bounce the ball higher, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that's the
yeah, I need
impressive
to
thing
do that
about you.
too.
When I see you like dunk on like on Instagram and stuff, you like, or I've seen your YouTube too. You lob it like not as high. Like the difference between me, I try and lob it super high, and
Mhm.
then I try and catch it with one hand in the air, and manipulate the ball into the hoop. You do it low, and then you grab it with two hands, and then cock it back, or you'll just like kind of reach back and then try and dunk it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I don't even mean to like throw it that low like on purpose. Like
yeah.
if I try and do it like really high, it I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. It feels like I
That's
have
just
to
like the way you've practiced, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's yes, the way you
Yeah.
But
practice.
like when I would dunk like off or on low rims and stuff, like a lot of times it would be like off dribble. So I don't know why I'm not as good off
Yeah.
dribble. But yeah,
Well, also too, sometimes like he doesn't have to throw the ball as high because, one he gets up a little higher and he's just like a. I mean, he's not that much taller than us, but he gets more extension. I don't explain that because he jumps higher. Does that make
I think
sense?
I know what you mean. Yeah,
Like
Oh,
it's almost like the way that you're doing it is that because you're jumping high enough, right? You're able to carry like the ball's already kind of stopping in motion when it's in the lob. You're basically able to just carry that motion into the dunk. At least that's how I would understand it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And
Like
I
he doesn't
think
have to throw it high because he doesn't have to overcompensate, you know,
exactly. And
because he
actually,
has vertigo for it.
like I think just briefly before we probably need to move on to something else. Um, I think in my opinion, in terms of 2 foot and 1 foot, I think yes, especially as someone who didn't have a basketball background, 2 foot is kind of the jumping style that I accommodated myself to. But I feel like 1 foot can still be a viable option if you understand the rhythm going to an approach. That's why if you have like a high jumper, right? I guess John Evans is the best example of that I can think of off the top of my head. He's a decent 1 foot jumper as a result of that. So it's like it really depends on like I guess the properties of your tendon and how they correlate to you as an athlete.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. I can think of
Shout out
like,
LeBron.
dude, only like I don't know much about high jump. I know one guy, Stephen Holmes. You watch him do that guy is bouncy, and then he the way he goes up, it's like he's got good rhythm, man. And then when he gets to that last step where he's jumping, it's like a bounce, like it's literally like off a. It's not even a trampoline at that point. It's literally as if his leg was a bouncy ball. It's kind of crazy, but yeah. With that being said, oh yeah, Dacey, I also wanted to tell you, whenever you get healthy again, I want you to try this. Lob the ball as high as you possibly can, like literally use all your strength into that, and then whatever like height it goes up to, go for it. Just reach it.
Yeah,
I would want to.
I definitely gotta try lobbing it
Yeah,
higher.
I would want to see something like that because that like at a certain point, like I would do so many lob reps and it's like it wouldn't go high enough. So at a certain point, I just like like threw the shit like almost to the roof of my gym, if especially if it has enough air, and then I'll like it'll go like a
That's what
little
I've
bit
been doing.
above. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's what we gotta do, bro. At the
Yeah,
end of the
that's
day,
legit. That's what I do for myself if I really need to push my intent like 110% in my sessions.
exactly, bro.
Oh
If you don't got
snap! I
bounce like
forgot to tell
Dacey,
you
that's what we gotta
guys.
do.
I had an in and out attempt in on 9 foot 11. Like I caught the ball from like
And then
right here
oh,
and
it hit the
it
back
went
rim,
in
hit
and
the front
out.
rim.
No, like it yeah, it kind of hit like it went inside and then hit back rim and then went out.
Nah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're
So I'm
nah.
getting
It's a
closer.
matter of time
And
for you, brother.
I touched rim twice, like well 9 foot 11, like kind of like a standing, but not like a little bit of a cheat stand. So it was kind of like you know where you kind of like a depth drop
Like
type
a
of
little
thing.
hop
yeah,
up
yeah.
and then do it, kind of like
Yeah,
how
like I'm
Isaiah has done it
yeah,
before.
just like a little like boom up, you know,
Yeah,
rather
yeah,
than
yeah, I
like
know what you mean.
stepping
Yeah,
into it. And I got it off my
yeah.
I
We
could do it like entering the
we
gym, like
lost.
literally. Oh, can you hear me?
Yo, we're losing you, brother.
No.
No, no. Oh, jeez.
No.
Driving
Okay.
to the country, that's why.
Yeah. Oh, Jayden, we're.
Can you hear me?
You wanna?
Is it better?
Yeah. Okay. We're good now. You're good now. You're good now.
Okay, so I was saying, as soon as I entered, like, I was just chilling with my friends. As soon as I entered the gym, I was able to, like, touch rim easily.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
It's pretty
That's
good.
what it.
And I got
Yeah.
it off my left-right approach easily. Like,
Yeah.
I think I've grabbed rim a little bit, like, off my left-right approach. Like, if I really,
Mhm.
like, put, like, max intent, I could probably grab rim with my left-right approach, too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels pretty comfortable, honestly. If anything,
Yeah.
like, my penultimate might be, like, it was a little bit bigger last time than my right left, which is weird. Like when I first learned right left, like my left right was just so much easier to stretch out that penultimate. I don't know why.
Yeah. It's a matter of time for you, Jaden. You'll get your first dunk and we can make a podcast about it for
Any
sure.
day now.
Or first flush. But yeah, speaking of first dunks, I was gonna ask you because I don't know if our co-host has seen it. I'm pretty sure they have, but your first dunk video, it was like one of the first testimonials on THP. It was mine or yours and then mine. Cause you have probably one of the best ones because you were with your boys and they all got hype. So I wanted to ask you what that felt like.
Oh my God, that same day I was like before I was doing like an actual low rim session on like 810. I had my first East Bay and behind the back on 9 foot that same day or 810 whatever. And then afterwards I just went to hoop for a couple hours. And I don't know why I just started like it was like my first ever time like trying to dunk on like a regulation hoop like 911 or whatever. Yeah, I got like super close. My first attempt, I was like,
Yeah, it's weird.
I was just blown away, and then I just kept trying, and then ended up landing one. It was the fact that I have that on video is just that's gonna be in my life forever. Greatest
Yeah.
moment of my life.
Yeah, man. Especially with your boys there getting hyped for you, bro. That's gotta feel good,
It
man.
was the most. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think THP made a video like a couple days after, and it was talking about like their first dunks or whatever, like Isaiah,
Yeah.
John, and Austin and them, and they like shouted
Mhm.
me out in that video.
Yeah.
So this is kind of
Oh, I
cool.
think I seen that video. Like I heard
Yeah,
them mentioning your name a couple of times.
yeah, that was yeah, and they were like posting me on their story and stuff. That was like one of my first times, kind of like not getting acknowledged by them, but like I don't know. It was. I think it probably
Yeah.
was my first time getting acknowledged by them, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was coolest day of my life.
So,
Coolest day
yeah.
of my life.
It's a good feeling, especially after being noticed. You know, it's like the hard work you put in, and then you get that. And especially for you, like you said, after you were just hooping, and then it felt like kind of out of nowhere. I bet, but I bet it was the adrenaline.
Yeah, it was the adrenaline, definitely.
Yeah, we'll get them back. But so we talked about your low rim experience, and obviously you would then transition into jumping high enough to be able to do trick dunks, like your first windmill off the wall, off the backboard. You've done too. Like, tell us how much like low rimming has helped you with that kind of stuff.
I think for windmills, especially like repping that out on 810 for me was like the most beneficial. Um,
Dog. Yeah, eight
kind
ten
of
is like the
height.
perfect height to do it. I feel
Yeah, it
like.
was like it just felt like I was doing it on 10 feet, like without jumping like
Yeah.
as high as I actually do on 10 feet. Like it took like adrenaline out, caffeine out, all that stuff. It kind of like it was pretty much like the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just that goes to show because no, you can definitely do some pretty good, damn good dunks. Yeah, I also wanted to ask you, what's your standing reach? Because you look like you have pretty long arms too.
It's only like 7'5 1/4", I think.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
that's with
around
shoes on.
mine.
That's with shoes on.
Okay, that's actually not bad. Um, yeah, that's not bad because I know Dom has pretty short arms. He is like 7'4". I mean, he's the same height as you. So yeah, that's like around me because I'm like 7'5 1/2". And do you know your vertical or no? Because you're definitely in
I've,
the 40s.
I've never tested my vert.
Yeah, you're
I want
easily in
to.
the 40s, bro. If you're able to windmill, do that, especially that off the wall, you're definitely in the 40s, bro.
Yeah, I feel like on my best day I could definitely test a 40, but I say
Yeah,
39 just because I don't want to,
yeah.
unofficially.
Nah, dude, you got a 40. You got like a low 40s for sure, dude.
I
Because
just want.
if I have like what a quarter higher reach than you, I'm pretty sure on one of the days recently, or my recent dunk session that I actually like jumped like max effort, which kind of messed me up for like the next few months. But
Mm,
I was jumping about 40 that day, and I was like it was like right here. I was getting my hand over the rim, and it was like a 9 9 1/2 rim, but it was still like that would still
hmm
be an estimate around a 40. I'm not gonna say it is,
Yeah,
but yeah, if you can do the dunks that you do, you're definitely at least like in like the low 40s for
yeah.
sure, at least the 40.
I would love to test, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
just
The
whenever you
feeling's
can.
mutual, Dacey.
huh,
I wish I could test.
bro? I want a vert trainer so bad, but when I
Yeah, it's the
It's
same
a
with me,
useful.
man.
yeah
It's
when I
useful
go to
too. I had this guy test the other day in my gym who's actually like pretty naturally bouncy. He got like a dude on turf. He got like he touched 10-6 with like a 7-7 reach, I think.
that's crazy.
Um, Yes, and on turf, so like, and with like what like Vans on, so he could probably do some crazy stuff. He's like 20, dude. He's like freaky, but he has like no technique too. That's the thing. He had terrible technique, and he did that.
Like an
So yeah.
monster.
So last thing I want to talk to you about before we end this off, because we're a little over time right now. So your injury, you're dealing with tendon pain, right?
Yeah, knee pain. I'm
Yeah.
starting to work my way out of it. I
Yeah.
just did box jumps this last week, so hopefully next week I could get back on low rims and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, with a tendon, it's definitely gonna be easier because you can actually push through like a little bit of pain.
Hmm.
So yeah, you'll definitely be back. Just make sure, like one thing for sure, I'm learning, like as someone who doesn't have tendon pain, that's like a lot worse. It's a lot more sensitive. Just manage it. Like if you get a flare up or if you feel some type of pain, like you gotta cut it. Like you gotta like there's a quote that I've heard before. I've heard Cam Dunk say it. He probably got it from somewhere else, but live to dunk another day. That's like
Mm,
as soon as I'm healthy, that's the main thing I'm gonna live by. Live to dunk another day,
I like
because
that.
it's actually like it's real as hell. But
Yeah, I just got to get
but
better at
yeah. So yeah, no.
Small
How are you?
movements.
Oh, that's just Jayden. Okay. Yeah. How are you? Like dealing with that right now,
um
like mentally.
mentally. There's been some times where it's like I wanna I wanna get back to dunking. Like I'm sick of because I was doing like depth drops and stuff. I was like I'm sick of doing these.
Yeah.
I don't like doing this
Yeah.
instead of dunking and stuff. But I would do like standing, um, like dunking reps to kind of satisfy my mental health for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just excited to get back. I'm itching. I'm itching to dunk again.
Yeah. That's
Best feeling.
so that's one thing I'm learning right now. Yeah, like again, like be careful from like going to 0 to 100 because I completely understand that, bro. I just want to.
I think that's what I did because when I first had to regress my jumps and stuff. I did standing jumps instead of drops. That's
Hmm.
just what they programmed me. But I
Yeah.
think I went too crazy with the standing jumps. I think
Hmm.
I went like I think I did like a couple more max effort jumps than I was supposed to. Um, and then like I was low rimming probably like 3 weeks ago. Like that was like my last time dunking officially. But yeah, I had like this one flare up, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is not good.
Yeah. And yeah, trust me, I get it, man. And like as someone who's in like the midst of it, I've been dealing with this since like more than like probably like 7 8 months now, like with my
Really.
injury. Yeah, it's I've been wanting to get back to it. Then I'll go 0 to 100, especially that last session where I jumped my highest. That's what messed me up like the most now. So now I have to take even longer to get
Mm-hmm.
back to it. The patience is definitely something that's important for sure. Um, it's it's a difficult process, but you learn a lot of lessons for sure.
Yeah,
Especially with like patience and discipline too. Because I even got a recent flare up. Like I'm not even joking. Like a couple days ago,
yeah.
it was my PFP though, because I have PFP and like meniscus pain. So
Okay.
technically it would be like PFP and chondromalacia, like just a different type of PFP. But yeah, just like take it from me, bro, because I'm in the middle of it. Just really like discipline yourself, listen to your body, especially
Yeah,
like
that's what I've been doing. Whenever I
yeah,
feel a little bit of pain, it's like, okay, I need to
yeah, and
drop down or cut it if it's too
yeah,
much.
and that itch to want to dunk is always gonna be there, but like the nature of our community and our type of training and what we do is at the end of the day we have to hold ourselves back because
Yeah,
we want to dunk so bad, we want to train hard, we want to be the best that we can be for whatever reason, because we all have our own reasons. Like Darshil, like in our last podcast, he's an against all odds type of guy. No one believed in him. Almost no one except his like big brother. Me, I just wanted to prove myself to myself that I can actually be a good athlete because I didn't play sports growing up. So and we all have that reason. We're all missing that. So that is gonna put us in like a sort of a desperation to want to get better and want to train hard. And me personally, I've had to learn this over and over and over again after flare up after flare up, after training as hard as I can, after like really like trying to push that wall without breaking it. Every time you try and consistently push that wall of injury or of a flare up, you'll end up breaking it eventually if you try and push like like stay that close distance away from it. So it's really about knowing when to hold yourself back and knowing when to know that's actually a good thing, that it's not bad, that I'm not, it's not that I'm not getting the training and it's that I'm hurt. I can't, or else I'm going to get worse and then it's going to take longer. So yeah, it's things like that. So I just want to, like, especially since it's like, I bet it's not like too bad for you, but I'm just saying, like, in the future, you jump the highest out of all of us. So you seem to be pretty like more resilient than all of us, especially since like tendon pain is like more common for all of us. But as soon as like you're gonna be jumping a lot higher, that's for sure, because you have good athletic development, you train hard. So once you get to that point of where you're jumping even like 2, 3, 4, 5 inches higher, however much higher, you're definitely gonna run into something else. So just take that from me. I just want just to drop that real quick. But that's gonna be the end of the podcast, boys. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. This is episode 4. Signing off. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.
All right, y'all boys. I hope y'all enjoyed today's podcast. If you're on YouTube, leave a like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, follow us and leave us 5 stars. If you have any recommendations for the future on what kind of podcast we could do, leave it in the comments below. You can find Dacey on Instagram and YouTube at Dacey Dunks. Go follow him. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.